Adjustable rate mortgages, I feel like I've been seeing some stuff in YouTube about adjustable rate mortgages. I'm obviously not an expert on that in any way, shape, or form. Quick version here, right? So I'm not going to pretend to be uninformed. I am uninformed in this, right? When I think of adjustable rate mortgages, I think of stuff from 15 years ago where they got a really bad rap because people were taking out these loans that they probably shouldn't have been taking out. Obviously, lending guidelines have changed. Is there, what's a scenario where someone might actually want to be looking at an adjustable rate mortgage? Because it seems like there's opportunities for those to make sense. Maybe even not necessarily now, but maybe a little bit more later.
Yeah, so I mean, I think first and foremost, there's nothing evil about an ARM. So adjustable rate mortgage or ARMs, there's nothing evil about those. There's a lot of differences now versus the past. In the past, you had negative amortization adjustable rate mortgages, which means you're actually paying less than the interest accrued, so your balance was growing. Those are pretty much gone. But then the other big problem was people were able to do these adjustable rate mortgages and the lenders were qualifying or able to qualify them on the lower payment. Now, in order for a lender to be able to qualify you on that adjustable rate mortgage rate, it has to be at least a 5-year term or longer. So if you're getting a 3-year ARM, the lender has to actually qualify you on a higher rate. So that's just background. What is it? Basically what it says is you're getting an interest rate that's fixed for this certain amount of time. So a 3-1 ARM means it's fixed for 3 years and then starts to adjust thereafter. A 5-1 ARM would be the same. 5 years it's fixed and adjustable. Usually the 1 means it's going to be adjustable every year. More often now we're seeing some of these where there might be like 5-year ARMs and then they're adjusted every 6 months thereafter. But the way it basically works is the interest rate is tied to an index and a margin, okay? The margin stays fixed for the life of your loan. So say that margin is 2%. But then it's tied to an index, and a very popular index right now, it used to be LIBOR, but that's kind of gone away now, it's the SOFR, S-O-F-R. But let's just use prime or something like that. Whatever that index is, the index is what changes from time to time. So as the feds have been, when we talk about feds raising the fed's fund rate, that definitely has an impact on adjustable rate mortgages because they're adjusting the Fed's fund rate, which influences these indexes out there. So let's just say I start out with a 2% margin and my index is 2% at the anniversary of my loan. I add those together, I have 4. That's my rate when the ARM adjusts. So maybe I start out with a 3% rate, but 5 years from now, my rate goes into adjusting. Basically, on the day of my adjustment, they say, okay, here's your margin. That never changes. Add that to whatever the index is for that day. Put it together. There's your rate for the next 6 months of the next year.
So the adjustable rate mortgage is very different from like a 2-1 buy down because the 2-1 buy down, it's predetermined. Like, okay, here's your rate this year. Here's your rate next year. Here's your rate moving forward. On an adjustable rate mortgage, it's tied to an index, which we can maybe predict, but in my mind, that's very different because we don't know for sure what that's going to be. So you don't know for sure what your interest rate is going to be later.
Right. On a 2-1 buy down, it's a 30-year fixed rate loan. The investor is being paid on that full interest rate. It's just it's being supplemented the first 2 years through a seller credit. On the adjustable rate mortgage, you have this rate. Now, the advantage of this is, again, most popular right now is the 5 years, the 5-1 ARMs. If you think that rates are going down and you have a very strong conviction on that, if looking at a 30-year fixed rate compared to maybe a 5-year ARM, if the 5-year ARM is enough of a savings and you have the confidence that it's going down, that would be a reason like why overpay? I'm pretty confident. Other reasons people might do an ARM is they know that, hey, my employer tends to move me every 3 to 5 years. I'm in that kind of employment position. Or I'm starting out, this is my beginner home, but I really want to move up and we plan to have kids here in 5 years. Whatever the case might be, if you know your expectation is to hold that loan for a short amount of time, maybe a 5-year ARM is great.
That could be advantageous.
And even if you keep a 5-year ARM, say, for 7 years, it doesn't mean you've lost money because all the interest you saved that lower rate the first 5 years allows you to actually hold that loan longer before you actually start truly paying more for that mortgage than that. So the takeaway here is they're not bad. For me personally, if I can see enough of a savings in the cost of the rate of the ARM versus my 30-year fixed, it's great. If it's only an eighth or a quarter difference, I'm more prone to go with the 30-year because I'm like, yeah, technically if I sold or refinanced in 3 years, I could have saved on that ARM. But if I don't, it's the low cost of insurance for me. So I don't know if that was short, but there you go.
And Joshua, once again, proving the value of using a an actual, just complete expert when it comes to the lender / mortgage broker being a part of your team, right? I mean, there's so many ins and outs, there's so much nuance to the conversations here, and everyone's financial situation and goals are going to be different. So I just want to reiterate that there's a vastly different level of service you get when you're using someone like Joshua compared to, just walking into a random financial institution and talking to whoever happens to be sitting behind a desk. And I'm not trying to throw shade, they might actually be very experienced too, they might have some great specific loan products, but there's so much going on, so many different options, and so much guidance and wisdom that you can get from an experienced, skilled, person like Joshua, who's a mortgage broker.
Well, I appreciate that, but I have to throw it right back at you too, Michael, because I'm telling you out there, not all real estate agents are created equal. I know it's really easy to want to go out there and maybe help a friend who just became an agent. Michael and I were both new in our business at some point, but honestly, there is a difference between a person who understands their market, their local market, so trying to use an agent that's out of market, sometimes you're at a disservice. But somebody who understands the market, understands how to negotiate, and I would also say it's really important is who has a strong reputation within the market, because we've said this in the past in other videos, it's not always the highest priced offer that gets accepted. Who your team is matters, particularly if you have a seller who's got other factors like, I don't know, maybe it's an estate sale, or maybe they got to move, they're under contract somewhere else. There's lots of other reasons why people would be willing to take less money for their house and have high confidence on the people on the other side of the transaction. So, and Michael's that guy. So,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So hey folks, really appreciate you sticking around. Hope this jam session is helpful for you. And again, let us know in the comments below if you'd like expanded versions of any of these topics or others. We're never too busy for you here, and it's just awesome to get to be an ambassador for our local real estate markets, but also real estate ownership in general, because there's a lot of power to doing this, which is why we don't want you being scared away by what are historically average interest rates.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's a lot of opportunity in the market, and owning a piece of the rock matters, and we want you to achieve your goals in that regard. So hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you again for taking the time. Thank you for taking the time, and subscribe and do all that normal YouTube stuff, and check out Joshua's channel too. We'll link it below.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yes, thanks, and bye for now.